It's time to get your geek on with Dave Vermillion.
Wow. Did we get taken for a ride from like Wednesday to Thursday-ish?
So I have a question. Did Henry Cavill send out a tweet to Entertainment Weekly or something?
No. All right, so here's what happened. Let's take you down the roller coaster here. So Henry Cavill plays Superman. Okay, that's the thing. It happened since 2013 when Man of Steel came out, then Batman, Superman, and Justice League. He is the face, no question. So the Hollywood Reporter comes out with this story claiming that they have studio sources saying that talks have broken down between Henry and Warner Brothers, and Henry is done. Henry walked away from the table. He will no longer be Superman. And the internet went crazy. Allegedly, the talks broke down. They wanted Superman to make a cameo appearance in Shazam, in the upcoming Shazam movie. And Henry wanted more money. And they said, but it's a cameo. But he said, I'm Superman, so, fork over the money. They said, yeah, we're still dealing with the mustache fiasco. It was nuts. So, allegedly, according to studio sources, the Hollywood Reporter ran with this story as an exclusive. Fast forward a little bit to everybody going completely crazy about that news. Then his manager comes out, and his manager sends out a tweet. And we reached out. We reached out to his manager and his publicist, and both said, oh, we'll totally put you on the press release list, but no, they weren't going to comment to us directly because no doubt 85,000 news outlets were reaching out to them at the same time. And his manager sent out the tweet, and the tweet said basically that the cape is still in the closet and to wait for a statement from Warner Brothers. Okay, that's not exactly a denial. Not exactly. It is. The cape's still in the closet, but he could also turn that cape in at any time. He could pack it up at any time. So what does that mean, the cape is still in the closet? We don't really know. So the official Warner Brothers statement comes out a few hours later, and by this time, social media is in full frenzy mode because now nobody knows what to believe. And the statement from Warner Brothers is so vague and ambiguous that it's not even funny.
Quote, while no decisions have been made regarding any upcoming Superman films, we've always had a great respect for and a great relationship with Henry Cavill, and that remains unchanged.
You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like Pop saying to Kawhi, we have great respect for Kawhi and we respect all his decisions. See ya, have fun in Toronto. Mm-hmm. That's saying that you've always had great respect for and a great relationship with Henry Cavill, and that remains unchanged. That sounds to me like a send-off. Like we wish him all the best. We respect the heck out of you, man. Have a good time.
I think DC is just not in a position to have any controversy, so they had to pad this out as quickly and as elegantly as possible.
Maybe, but again, it's not a denial. Nor is it a confirmation.
Definitely.
So everybody is now going bonkers. They don't know what to believe. People are saying, well, the manager said this. Well, Warner Brothers said this. And Henry said this. So now Henry himself gets involved. On his Instagram. I mean, this just gets better. It is a true circus at this point. Henry shows a short video of himself, and he's wearing a T-shirt that says Krypton Lifting Team, which I don't know what that means.
I think it's just a cute little nod
I guess.
at Superman.
I mean, Titanic swim team T-shirts, those were funny. Okay, that had a point. Krypton Lifting Team. I don't. It's a team of one. I mean, two if you count Supergirl, but whatever. So he's wearing the shirt, and he raises a Superman action figure and then lowers it. And that was the video. I'm like, what? What?
I love how he seems like the type of person that went, oh, instead of addressing this, I'm gonna make it worse.
Yeah,
because he didn't do anything.
So people started saying, oh, see, this proves right here that he's gonna be Superman, and people are like, wait, that proves nothing.
Yeah.
What did we just see?
It could be that he was showing that he was Superman and now it's going away or something.
Exactly.
It could mean anything.
Yeah, maybe that's the rise and fall of him as Superman. We don't know. But we have a theory. And this is one that I think was in the back of a lot of people's minds, including my own, and then TMZ came out with this, that it's all one big prank by Henry's team. Whether it's a manager, publicist, agent, buddies, whoever, one of them called the Hollywood Reporter. Now, this is a theory, okay? Let's get that out there. Called the Hollywood Reporter and said, "Hey, man, you can say studio sources, but you'll never guess what I just heard Henry say." And then they ran with it. So the Hollywood Reporter took it and ran with it.
Here's what I think.
Oh, I'm excited.
So last week, Brie Larson says, "I want to break the internet." This week, Henry Cavill says, "Hold my beer."
That has to be it. He probably came closer to breaking the internet than Brie Larson ever has. Ever in the history of ever. So the theory is that the talks did break down. Henry wants more money. Warner Brothers says no, and he got all upset with them about the whole Shazam cameo. So he leaks this to his people. His people leak it to the Hollywood Reporter and say that Henry's thinking about walking. They run with it so that now Henry and his team can go back to Warner Brothers and say, "Look at this backlash. Look at all this backlash. You can't get rid of me. You can't. You have to give me the money now." You know, I don't know how much money we're talking about here for a cameo, but you can't not give it to me because look at the fans.
Yeah, I think more than anything, this reminds me of what happened with Ben Affleck, where no one ever came out and said he wasn't going to be Batman or he was thinking about getting out of Batman. There were some people that are like, you know, there was conjecture because no one officially came out and said it, and everybody ran with it. And I feel like this is a similar situation. And maybe you're right. Maybe it was done for a PR stunt or for negotiation.
Here's my question, though. If Warner Brothers, why didn't they just deny it? Why didn't they come out and say, "I don't know what they're talking about. There are no studio sources. Henry's our Superman, and there are no plans to change that at all"?
Because let's say your theory is right about you know, Henry's people going like, "Oh, well, look, you have to pay him this because he's the definitive Superman right now." That was Warner Bros. Way of saying, "Hey, we have a relationship with Henry Cavill," and they're being ambiguous. I think maybe possibly as a way to say back like, "But you're replaceable," or "We don't have to have you."
It's also possible that they just didn't want to rock the boat.
That's true as well.
Because if they did come out in a rather abrasive way and say, "Oh, I don't know what Henry's talking about. We're tight. We're good. We go golfing together. It's fantastic," then all of a sudden he's made to look like a fool. He might fire back with something else. Mm-hmm. They've diffused this kind of sort of by not denying it. But yeah, that's the leading theory, and it's one that was the whole time is in the back of my mind that this wasn't real.
Yeah.
Now, the Hollywood Reporter is reasonably reliable, okay? So keep that when we publish it on our Facebook page. I wouldn't have published it if it came out of comicbookmovie.com. You know, I mean,
as you shouldn't.
This was a legit thing. This would be the same thing as if Variety or Vanity Fair published
Definitely.
this.
They're usually very they don't report anything unless it has weight to it.
And of course, it didn't take long either before people started talking about who's going to replace him as Superman.
Which is so ridiculous.
I mean, it was like maybe literally an hour or two before you started to see memes and pictures and photoshopped images of Michael B. Jordan, of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, no, to both of those.
Well,
both of those, no.
Nicolas Cage, what?
His
No.
his weakness would be the bees.
I wanted to see the movie that they did end up making with him.
I had no desire to see Nick Cage as
I want to see
Superman.
it so bad.
So
say later.
the theory makes sense that Henry put Warner Brothers up to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a frame job to get more money out of Warner Brothers.
I can see that.
I don't know what he was paid for Justice League or Man of Steel or whatever, but he's probably not making Ben Affleck money. And he might have seen what Ben Affleck made for Justice League.
Yeah.
And he might have said, "Dude, I'm Superman. I think it's high time I got paid like Superman."
Definitely, because now, especially now, I think since Justice League and BVS have come out, he's so much more of a powerhouse actor, where he has a little more, maybe not like an RDJ, but he definitely has a little more pull to ask for those things.
I know they wanted Ben Affleck to be the face of DC going forward.
Where is he at right now?
He's completely unknown right now. We don't know.
Isn't he in a rehab facility right now, or that was like the rumor that he?
I think that was the rumor. I don't think it
Okay.
was actually confirmed, but I think Henry is wanting to step up.
Definitely.
And now he was in, what was that Expendables? He was
Mission
in
Impossible.
Mission
Rogue
Impossible
Nation.
5.
No,
and-
6.
Six. Sorry. Yeah, Mission Impossible 6.
Mission Impossible
And
Fallout.
Fallout. Why
And
did I
now
say
he's going to
Rogue
be
Nation?
in the Witcher series.
Yes.
So he's taking on that role. He's starting to kind of branch out a little bit, and he's starting to command some big bucks.
Yeah.
Because he knows you can't be typecast. And he also knows, body gets older, you can't do these stunt scenes forever.
That's true.
Unless you're Tom Cruise, for some strange reason. He can-
Tom Cruise can't even do him. He gets hurt.
Yeah, well, Tom Cruise, though, he still does his own
Finishes.
stunts.
Yeah, I get you.
That's craziness. So, and even I admit, we have a graphics guy that I borrow his talent from time to time. And I started to put together some names. And I'm like, man, we need to start coming up with replacements. Because I thought the Hollywood Reporter would be reasonably, reliable on this. Now we don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
All we have is the theory that Henry was trying to get more money out of Warner Brothers by showing them what the backlash would be if they cut him.
I think the tragedy out of this whole story is that we might not get a Superman cameo in Shazam, because I really want a Superman cameo in Shazam.
I think the real tragedy, well, that'll be fun to see.
Definitely.
But I think the real tragedy now is that for the upcoming weeks and months, DC fans are going to go back and forth on, well, his manager said this. Well, Warner Brothers said that. Well, I heard this, and I heard that. And now these little sub-rumors are going to start to spawn, and YouTubers, we talked about in the first half, are going to break this apart, break it down, start their own rumors. It's only a matter of time, and nobody will know what to believe.
I think at this point, again, it's going to be this is just like the Ben Affleck rumors. It's just like the Marvel rumors, like the Star Wars rumors that are constantly getting put around. It's something where no one's going to listen to it, but the best thing is to sit back and enjoy the content they're releasing and see what happens.